sales. We got the best-selling games of 2020, boys, and there's a lot of Last of Us 2 fans that were in my mentions, adding me because, ironically enough, we got some news a few days before this. We all know the bullshit that has been going on with the physical sales for The Last of Us Part 2 as they continue to sit and rot on shelves. I've reported many times. I'm tracking numbers at a Best Buy that I'm very close to and know someone who works there. They received 175 copies of The Last of Us Part 2. They still have over 80 copies left. They have yet to sell. They've only sold almost half their stock. That's it. Even with the bargain bin Black Friday $20 Last of Us 2 deals, they still have almost half of their stock left. And of course, all those counted as sales for Last of Us Part 2. Those physically shipped. They were sold to stores after all. Well, now we have some information. Call of Duty is the number 1 and number 2 best-selling game.
That's crazy. That's impressive as hell.
Yeah, that is pretty crazy. Not the fact that a Call of Duty game is up there because Call of Duty games are up there almost every single year, but the fact that they have 2 on there this year is pretty crazy, and I think that is all to do with Warzone.
Warzone. Absolutely. But even if it does have to do with Warzone, I mean, that just kind of shows you like they are evolving. And I'm sure the way that people will frame this is like, oh, Jeremy's a Call of Duty fanboy, and I'm absolutely not. I've not cared about Call of Duty since Black Ops 2. I have hated almost everything they produced since Black Ops 2. I hated Infinite Warfare. I hated World War II. I didn't like any of these games. Black Ops 3 and 4, I did not like those games at all. Modern Warfare was the first time I really started caring about Call of Duty since Black Ops 2. And then I was really, really hyped for Cold War. And now I'm actually playing Warzone, and Warzone is fucking fantastic. So they're killing it, man. And I'm very happy for them. And I've got it on mobile. So
yeah, I can't defend that.
Hey, that's Memology and Data Racer's fault. I'm sitting there on Twitter. I couldn't sleep last night, and I see Memology. First, Memology was bitching about the fact that it was making so much money on mobile. Then his next tweet, he's like, I downloaded it, and I'm obsessed with it. And then Data Racer's like, yeah, I don't even want to get on Twitter or anything. I just want to play Call of Duty Mobile. I'm like, really? So I downloaded it, and it's actually pretty fucking good. So, yeah, Call of Duty's just dominating.
This kind of ties into what we were talking about last week of how they made, like, what was it, like close to, like, $2 billion?
Yeah, dude, it's insane. It's insane. It really is.
Were they counting mobile in those numbers?
No, it was just for Modern Warfare, Warzone, and Cold War.
They're going to be making a fucking shit ton on mobile from all the 13-year-olds that their fucking parents paying their credit cards, their Google Play.
China too. I think Call of Duty Mobile is like the biggest game in China.
Let me make a point for the Last of Us 2 losers out there. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe without digital sales is almost past Last of Us Part 2. This game broke, like, Last of Us Part 2 broke records when it opened, the opening sales. Everybody's like, oh, it's good. It clearly fell off a cliff. Clearly. This game should be up there with Animal Crossing, but it's I don't know the specifics. Plus, Animal Crossing doesn't have its digital numbers either. None of the Nintendo games have the digital numbers.
Well, here's the thing, and we've talked about the physical sales, right? Because all those, right, they're fucking sitting there in stores. The stores are fucked. They're gonna have to eat the cost of selling these things at $20 a pop. That's just the bottom line. However, when you look at something that you can't spin, that you can't say, well, these physical copies, blah. Ghost of Tsushima. This is from Sony. They released the numbers on digital, or they released the rankings on digital. Ghost of Tsushima was more downloaded than The Last of Us Part 2. That is a fact. That is the bottom line. And you can't spin that shit. You can't have unsold copies rotting on shelves when you're talking about digital sales.
I'm surprised. Did Sony release that number, or is that just what people mine from like looking at people's achievements and stuff?
No. This is the PlayStation blog, the official PlayStation announcement right here. Call of Duty Black Ops claimed most of the top spots, but PlayStation exclusives still heavily represented on this list. And you have one chart for US and Canada, one chart for Europe. Ghost of Tsushima 5, Last of Us Part 2, 6.
It's funny that FIFA is represented the way Call of Duty is in America. It's like the last 2 years of FIFA are number 1 and 2.
Yeah, exactly.
out of curiosity, it's probably on there, but I can't see it because I've got a small laptop. Where's Final Fantasy VII Remake?
Down. I think it's 10th. Yeah, 9th.
Yep. Nice. Okay.
NBA 2K and 2K 21 and 22 beat it. But yeah, so Ghost of Tsushima, more PlayStation users downloaded Ghost of Tsushima than The Last of Us Part 2. But when you count the physical sales, all the things that are rotting on the shelves, then Last of Us 2 creeps ahead. And I will prove to all you motherfuckers that The Last of Us 2, no one bought this game. No one bought this game other than that opening weekend.
Mhm.
Let me go to my fucking bookmarks here because
I don't know if you saw it, Ryan, while you're looking for it. When it was around Christmas time, I don't remember that picture I sent you in the game store near where I live. They had like Ghost of Tsushima and Last of Us Part 2 next to each other. Last of Us Part 2 was like half price for Christmas, and they were still selling Ghost of Tsushima at full price. It's like, get rid of this shit that motherfuckers are actually paying for this one, so jack up the price on that one.
Yeah,
that was at Christmas time.
Ghost of Tsushima is $50 right now online.
My nerdy home said, "Why is Ryan always calling me a motherfucker?" Because you're like, all you motherfuckers, I'll show you.
I will show you. This is September, right? This is the September bestsellers. This is for physical and digital, right? This is the last time Last of Us Part 2 appears. It's at number 9, while Ghost of Tsushima falls to number 5. Look at October. Ghost of Tsushima rises back up to number 4.
Was that around when they did the Legends?
Yes. Last of Us 2 fucking gone and dead. November. Ghost of Tsushima still hanging in there. In November, Last of Us Part 2 nowhere to be fucking found. And then in December, Ghost of Tsushima rises again to number 7. Last of Us Part 2 nowhere to fucking be found. Right? Like,
isn't Last of Us supposed to be getting a multiplayer update? Like the factions, I think they were calling it, similar to like Legends, and I haven't heard anything about it.
A long time ago. Fucking had that shit, huh?
Highlight JV's comment about you. This is so accurate.
Yeah, that's true.
It's hard to argue with that.
That's true.
For Last of Us physical sales, though, I've even got an anecdotal evidence point too. The computer store that I go to is about a half an hour from here, where I got my video card. They don't sell physical games for the most part, but they have a big stack of Last of Us Part 2, like probably about 20 copies, and it's been there every time I've gone there for the last like 3 months. So I think that it's possible that Sony might have also been like reaching out to places that don't traditionally sell software at all and being like, well, Last of Us 2 is going to be the best selling game of the year. Like, can we put you down for 20 copies? Because they do sell like controllers and stuff. So they might be like, yeah, you can sell controllers and stuff here, but you should also carry a bunch of copies of Last of Us 2. It's the only game too. There's no other games beside it on the shelf. It's just The Last of Us 2, and there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah,
We told all of you fucking people, though. We did. We told all these people back when The Last of Us Part 2, with everything happening, when Naughty Dog was copyright striking channels and going after the fans. We're like, oh, look at the numbers. We're like, just wait, And again, yeah, you could sit there and go, oh, well, it finished what? Would it finish 6th for the year? Whatever. Or it's like, okay, yeah, that's fine. But this game was released to record-breaking numbers, and we kept saying like it's going to tank, and it clearly dropped off big time. And I mean, of course, The Last of Us is one of the the most well-received games of the entire generation, and it had a lot of hype. It had a lot of goodwill. It's kind of like The Last Jedi, how The Last Jedi had an insane opening weekend between domestic and overseas. I think The Last Jedi made like $500 or $600 million opening weekend. I mean, and that's all from the goodwill from the previous installment. But once people started watching it, like, this is a piece of shit. Like, yeah, it still made $1.3 billion. Last Jedi did, but it fell off a cliff. And that's what everybody was saying was going to happen with Last of Us Part 2. And it clearly did.
You just wait. If hypothetically there's a Part 3, you wait and see those numbers, man.
Yeah. Well, go back to that list real quick, Ryan. Go back the one that shows the top 10.
The overall one?
Yeah, the overall one.
This one?
So like right here, so let's add let's add the games that have asterisks by it, which is mainly Nintendo, but they also got NBA 2K. Like, so for sure, you could say Deluxe and 3D All Stars would probably, if you add the digital sales, is probably going to jump over Last of Us Part 2. So that pushes it down to like 8th, or it could be flirting with 8th or 9th for the year. That's not what. That's not. That's,
in their defense, Last of Us probably had a fair amount of digital sales, and you can't return PSN games once you download them. So all of their digital sales are final.
That's true.
Except for
which is less digital sales than Ghost of Tsushima.
They tried to make my pre-order for the game final when I was trying to cancel it. I'm like, the game hasn't come out yet. They're like, oh, okay, well, talk to this chatbot for 3 hours, and then we'll call you back later today sometime, and then disconnect you after you've been on the phone for an hour. I'm just like, I just want my money back for this game. I don't want to play if it doesn't come out for a month.
One thing that we did learn too, I'll share it on my screen, and always got to give Nintendo their props. The Switch sales in 2020 were the second highest yearly console figures ever in the US, beaten only by the garbage ass Wii in 2008. That's pretty impressive right there. So that means it did better than any year from a PS3, PS2, or a PS4. Like, so that's pretty incredible, and continued their 2-year reign as the top selling console. I do think that has more to do with the if everybody has the opportunity to get a PS5, then it would dethrone it probably. But it's still a juggernaut, man. And
it also we saw a around a 30% rise in video games in general this year. Like with people staying home. I think it was about 35% for console sales, 27% for like software and stuff. So I average around, I would say right around 30% rise in video game shit. So that obviously has a lot to do with it. A lot of people bought Switches, I think, like for like knowing that their kids were going to be stuck at home. You know what I mean? I think that was a big part of the sales, and just people in general.
We're going to be stuck at home with these kids. We got to give them something that'll make them not want to use the TV.
Okay, so a couple things. Number one, that wasn't the Wii U Mario Kart. So that's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is a remaster, or I guess just an upgraded version from Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U. So the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe that was in the top 10, that's the Switch version, which is a port from the Wii U. Secondly, people are like, what did the Wii do to me? I like the Wii, but it's objectively a terrible fucking system. It had its moments, but it was not a good system. It was based off a gimmick. It was a short-term success, but it was not something that was going to be sustainable, which is why the Wii U was such a massive failure. So yeah, I like the Wii. I got a Wii sitting behind me.
Yeah, so there you go. So Last of Us 2 fans, I know a lot of you were like, where's your video? Well, I made a video about it. I said, Last of Us 2 fans think this proves that it sold more than Ghost of Tsushima. So get fucked. Thanks. I'm glad. Thanks for your money.
I do think it is very impressive though that Modern Warfare finished number 2. And explain to me this. So so you don't have to have Modern Warfare to play Warzone though.
That money counts towards. But money spent in Warzone counts towards Modern Warfare because it is like
what I'm saying though is that to play, like if I own just Cold War, I can download Warzone, correct?
Yeah, you could own nothing and download Warzone.
Oh, okay. So you can okay. I didn't know if you had to own one or the other.
No.
Okay.
Warzone's for free.
Okay. Well, I knew it was for free. I just wasn't sure if it was for free with an added, or it was an added bonus. Okay, so it's just like Fortnite.
Yes, it's a separate thing. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like Fact Blast. It's completely free.
There you go. Look at there.
That's right.
We need to get some microtransactions in Fact Blast. So
it's like, oh shit, you ran out of facts. Fucking $5 for a Google search.
$5. I'm gonna switch to the logic weapon.
I'm gonna make Ryan and Mark and Lethal and Jay and Krista and X-Ray Girl and everybody downloadable characters. $25 each.
Yeah, so I could be upset on how poorly my characters sell. It's like X-Ray Girl and my mom are going to be the only one they're going to want to play as Mark the Cyborg.
Make Mark a villain. Make Mark a villain. Just be like,
yeah, he can make him the pro CDPR guy.
I could make.
Exactly.
I want to make a stage with Ryan throwing facts at Mark, and Mark defends with lies from CDPR, and that's how they fight.
But CDPR said.
Oh man.